I look back at my time in the classrooms and hallways, and I can tell you without a doubt, being at that moment, at that time, was a gift. Being in that high school was a gift. Signing up for agriculture class was a gift. Now, you say, how do you know it was a gift? Well, I happen to be an expert on gifts. The company that I run and operate and own is one of the largest gift companies in the U.S. We're the largest musical gift company in America. We supply over 1 million gifts to people through our retailers all over the world. So I know a little bit about gifts, but it's not because I know about gifts or because I say that I had a gift in high school. I actually learned at a young age, at 19 years old, what it means to truly receive and give a meaningful gift. It was when I got the chance to travel overseas to Japan. I am on my international experience as a national officer. I'm 19 years old, and I am told I need to go live with a Japanese family. Now, there was only one problem. I didn't speak Japanese, and they didn't speak any English. So we did our best to communicate. They were great hosts. They fed me well. That's the international language, by the way, is food. You know, you go anywhere around the world, the first thing they want to do is feed you and feed you and feed you. And they fed me very well. Now, this couple had a little boy named Lee. Now, Lee and I hit it off right away because if you'll notice with little kids, they don't care what language you speak. Because they don't speak really that language. They can tell how you feel. They can tell how you think. So Lee and I hit it off really well. In fact, this particular home, and it's common in Japanese homes, doesn't have central heat. So they would, when you sat down at the kitchen table, they would have these big blankets and you would pull over your lap and there was heaters underneath there. Or you sat in the living room, they would have a blanket you pulled over and there was a heater underneath there. So that's how you heated. And at night, where Lee would sleep is in the family room where it was warmest, and they would lay down these big blankets. So I would sleep down there with Lee. And they'd lay these blankets down, and then we would lay down. Lee would come downstairs, and he had this little blue whale. And he slept every night with this blue whale curled up really tight underneath his arm. And he would curl up beside me and go to sleep. And we had a phenomenal experience. It was a real life-changing, another defining moment in my life. And so it came to the end of the experience, and I had been told that it's customary and a nice gesture to give gifts to the host family. So I brought some gifts, very American gifts. I bought, baseball hats and a t-shirt, and I brought some pens and some buttons and very tchotchke kind of things that we often give in America. And so I passed them all out, and everybody was wearing their hats and wearing their shirts, and they were all so happy and very appreciative, and I thought I had done such a wonderful thing. And then I noticed one by one they kind of disappeared. And the first one to come back was the father, the host father. And he came back, and what he came back with, I actually have here today, was this. It was a bird made out of Japanese coins. And what I found out as he explained to me through the interpreter is that this was given to him by his best friend when he was 16 years old. His best friend subsequently passed away, and it was the only thing he had from him. And he handed that to me as my gift. And then the mother came back, and the mother brought me a kimono and asked me to give that to my mother. And then shared that it was the kimono that she wore when she was married. And then the grandmother came back. And the grandmother came back, and she was holding this stone, which happened to have been taken off of a mountain during the World War as a raw stone. And then her husband had it polished down into this beautiful stone that you see here, mounted on another piece of the stone. And she came out and gave this to me. Her husband had departed her a few years earlier, and it was one of her most prized and treasured possessions from her husband. I was in awe, complete awe. I'd never experienced something even remotely close to this in my lifetime. And then I looked around, and I couldn't find Lee. And next thing you know, I hear his little pitter-patter down the stairs. And he comes walking down the stairs carrying this. And he walks up to me, and he puts it in my lap. And I knew that regardless of how awesome these other gifts were, nobody was giving a greater gift than him. And I started to give it back to him. And tears just started flowing down his face. He just started bawling. And I realized that I needed to accept this gift, and I accepted it to him, only to find out that the reason he started crying was not because he was going to miss this whale. It was because he had witnessed giving in its purest form, and he was afraid that his gift wasn't enough. And that's why I was giving it back. But in reality, we all know, if you've had a 5-year-old and they sleep with something at night, there is no more precious possession in their world than that. And he handed that over to me. So teachers, educators, administrators, when I stand up here and say that your opportunity to teach these young people is a gift, I mean it's that kind of a gift. You have the chance, just like these other speakers have talked about, to mold, to shape, to influence, to impact so many young people out there. You have been given that gift. Now what you do with that gift is your gift to them.